So what was it like? Do you mean what was it like at the
What's it like for you during the Exorcist frenzy?
frenzy? Well, I fall back on the word surreal, which is kind of a cliched word, but it felt surreal. It was kind of crazy. It's hard to explain. I mean, it wasn't like Beatlemania. It wasn't as big as that, but I would liken it to that in that it was this sort of trendy, crazy fascination with exorcism and devils that the Exorcist seemed to kind of like unleash. And it wasn't gloomy or dark. It was just, Newsweek put out a cover and it was called the Exorcism Frenzy. And that's what he's getting that from. And it was hard. It felt unreal. It must have been the same for my dad. It was like, why is this such a big deal? Like people would recognize my name, especially in Georgetown, like even on a check or receipt, they go, Blatty. Now, once I bought something, it was around the time they were filming, this person said to me, he said, Blatty, you're not related to that freak who wrote The Exorcist, are you? And I said, well, my dad did write The Exorcist. And then they said, oh, I didn't mean to be offensive, but I mean, you got to admit, that book is really weird, he said to me. Even today, it's hard to account for what chord that struck in people and what it was that made the whole topic so much of interest to people. I mean, I understand the popularity of the book. It's a really well-written book. I mean, they called it a page turner, It's great storytelling. I mean, it's not great literature. I mean, it's really well written. There are some really beautiful passages, but more than anything, it's a great story. And so that was the reason for the popularity, in addition to the sensational aspects, obviously. But once the movie came out and the story started to go around about fainting and throwing up, then it just became exponential. Then it became like the thing to do. So yeah, I mean, that's as well as I can explain it. It's disconcerting because it's like, why? But authors are not like rock stars. They're not like, people don't recognize them and people don't ask for their autographs. You know what I mean? So I didn't have a situation where I was with my dad and people, ran up like, oh my God, the author of The Exorcist.